Welcome to our 227th weekly webcast. I can't believe that we've been doing this for about 5 years now. I've loved every second of it. Now, I have a very important announcement to make. Our 7th annual Gold and Platinum one-year MBA program starts on Monday, May 1st, and this will be the very last Gold and Platinum class of this year. The next one will be launched in 2024. And so anybody that buys Gold or the Platinum class starting on May 1st will be grandfathered in, so you can join Gold next year for free, and you can go to this link here to learn more. However, prices are going to be much higher next year because in the next 10 months, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working 24/7 on adding lots of new data science, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Bard, Bing Chat, Power BI, Tableau, and programming content to the MBA program, including Python and much, much more. So again, today is the last time I will likely mention my Gold and Platinum class until next year. So what I want to do is I want to tell you a little bit more about the May 1st Gold and Platinum MBA program today by playing a video here on the program. And of course, I'll answer all questions you have today that you type about the MBA program and other stuff. Again, today is the last time I'm going to mention Gold or Platinum until next year. So let me play the video here and thank you. Mark Twain once said, the two most important days in your life are number 1, the day you're born, and number 2, the day you find out why. I'm here today and every day forever to humbly help you find your career passion. I'm always here for my students to also help them find their career purpose. And you won't find another business teacher on the planet who cares as much as I do or works as hard as I do to ensure that my students are successful. Now, I want to nurture and help my students find their ambition or get their ambition back. I will walk through walls to help you take your career to the next level. And I promise you that I care just as much about your opportunity for unlimited success as you do. Now, I want to help you live your life on your terms. So, welcome to our 7th annual one-year Gold and Platinum MBA degree program. Please stick around until the end of today's live webcast, as I have 2 special gifts for everybody on this call. So today we're going to talk about 3 topics. The first topic number 1, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our 7th annual Gold and Platinum Haroun MBA degree program that starts this May 1st. Now, as I'll explain later, the Gold and Platinum MBA is the same class, but Platinum students get one-on-one meetings with me over Zoom. And if you want to learn more about the Gold and Platinum MBA program starting on May 1st, you can always go to day1notoneday.com, as you can see in the graphic over the shoulder here. Okay, the second topic is I'll quickly discuss frequently asked questions about the MBA program. And then the last part of the agenda for today, meaning the third topic, is I'll answer your questions that you type in YouTube chat there. And I'll open up Zoom after the third topic in case you want to ask me questions live using Zoom or network with other students. And before we do the Q&A, I will tell you how to get the 2 free gifts today. So let's move on to topic 1 of 3. So I'll talk about our 7th annual Gold and Platinum Haroun MBA degree program that starts this May 1st. And I promise you, and I guarantee you, that I will help you live your life on your own terms in my MBA program or your money back. And I'm so convinced that you'll get at least a 10x return on your investment in my MBA program that I've got a 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee, and I don't think any other MBA program has this. And my students inspire me so much. And there's nothing we can't accomplish together. Now, in just the past few months, students in my MBA program have achieved the following unbelievable milestones. One of my students that started in my MBA got a job offer at Goldman Sachs in New York City, working in investment banking, making $175,000 base salary. That doesn't include bonus. And he's in the same post-MBA start class with Harvard Business School graduates. Another student of mine raised $11.5 million for his startup from the same venture capitalist that invested in Tesla, SpaceX, Baidu, and Twitter. Other students of mine in my MBA program have gotten jobs at Google, McKinsey, the Boston Consulting Group, the private equity sector, the venture capital sector, and on and on. And so welcome to our 7th annual Haroun MBA degree program open house. Now, I'll tell you soon how to get on Zoom to ask questions, and you can also ask questions over YouTube chat, and I'll answer them all. And it gives me such pleasure to humbly help my students, and I hope you enjoyed today's live webcast. And this is your MBA on your terms, as the program is very flexible. Now, all of the many students from all over the world that have taken my MBA degree program have one thing in common. We are all here to help each other reach our full potential. And our network of students is incredible, and your network is your net worth. And we have students from more than 70 different countries that have taken the Gold and Platinum MBA program. Now, our global family of incredible students are from many countries, and I'm humbled that in all of my courses, I now have well over 1 million students, and my courses have generated well over $10 million in revenue, humbly. More importantly, though, I'm humbled to say that what I teach you is based on my real-life practical experience and not based on theory, and it works. And it has and will continue to help you reach your full potential or your money back. So I'm going to continue to reinvest to ensure that your MBA program is always up to date with fresh new content. And I've invested well over $1 million so far in creating this MBA degree program, and we're just getting started. So in addition to the 5 pillars of content already in the MBA program, I just added a 6th pillar this year, which is technology, and specifically how to program from scratch. And I have a lot of programming experience when I used to work at Accenture as a programmer back in the 90s. And I'm constantly adding lots of new content that you will always get for free forever if you sign up. And whatever new technologies are or will be created, I'll continue to add new content to the MBA program so you're always not just one step, but one giant leap ahead of your competition. And as I think about my children, so my kids here, they inspire me so much. The technologies that they're going to use in their careers and social media platforms have not been invented yet. When they are invented, I will add these to the MBA degree program. Okay, I'll talk about all 6 pillars of the MBA in more detail soon. And if you want, you can check it out at this website, which you see right here beside me above my left shoulder, which is day1notoneday.com. Now, traditional MBA schools are too expensive, inflexible, meaning you have to physically be there in class, and they're outdated. And they literally teach you stuff that was relevant last century, and they have not kept up to date with technology and social media trends. Now, with my MBA degree program, it's affordable, as it only costs the same as just a couple of hours of getting an MBA from an old school traditional MBA. Plus, there is no risk, as there is a 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. And my 30-day 100% money-back guarantee lasts for 30 days after we start our 1-year MBA degree program on May 1st. So what that means is if you purchase today or any time before May 1st, then the 30-day 100% money-back guarantee lasts through June 1st of 2023. And I encourage you all to go to LinkedIn and find any students that are graduates of my MBA degree program and chat with them. And they're from all over the world, and they help each other a lot, as again, your network is your net worth. My program is also flexible because you can access it anytime from anywhere on any device. And you can watch the lectures live with me, where I stop after each topic to take endless questions. Or you can watch the recorded lessons and recorded Q&A sessions online anytime and on any device forever. Now, I will walk through walls, as I mentioned, to help my students reach their full potential in life. And if you sign up for the Gold or Platinum MBA program that starts on May 1st, you're allowed to join any future Gold program of mine for free forever. And you get Zoom Q&A access to me, group Zoom Q&A, every single weekday forever. That's right. Okay. Also, my MBA program is always up to date, as you receive many hours of new classes every single year for free. And the MBA is a one-time payment for the May MBA, or at checkout, what you can do is you can make 3 or 6 monthly payments. And I pride myself on teaching real practical concepts based on my experience and based on the many meetings I've had with billionaires and top CEOs and entrepreneurs, which is where I got the 101 crucial lessons they don't teach you in business school content from my book there. And I published this book while I worked in the venture capital industry, and I'm humbled to say that Forbes called this book one of 6 books that all entrepreneurs need to read right now, along with, went forward a slide by accident, along with Peter Thiel's book, Simon Sinek's book, and the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, the lean startup and the billionaire effect. And Business Insider called my book the book of the year in 2016. And so I teach based on my work experience too, and not everybody knows me on this call. So I thought what I would do is quickly talk about my bio and why I teach. This is the correct slide here. Okay, so I'm from Canada originally, but I now live in the San Francisco Bay Area with my wife, Christine, and my 3 sons. Anybody know which 3 characters those are from Star Wars on those pumpkins? It took me 40 minutes per pumpkin to make them, with my kids, of course. Yeah. So my kids are a bit older now. My eldest son, Andrew, started university at Berkeley last fall, and he's studying engineering, although he told me he wants to switch to business. Now, in terms of my experience, I have about 30 years of experience in business. And I graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce degree from McGill University. Then I worked for 4 years as a programmer at consulting firm Accenture. Then I got my MBA in finance from Columbia University. And when I graduated, my friends from Columbia and Harvard Business School that worked with me were frustrated. They're really frustrated because they didn't learn the most important concepts in business school, which is why I created this MBA degree program for you. And traditional MBA degree programs don't teach you how to present or how to get customers or how to network or how to interview or how to manage your own money. They teach you how to manage other people's money. And this was apparent to me when I wanted to buy my first apartment in New York City in 2002. I called my buddies that graduated from Columbia and Harvard, and I asked them, hey, how does a mortgage work? And they all said, I don't know. They didn't teach us that in business school. They also didn't teach you how to start a company. Ask anybody that has an MBA. Do you know how to start a company now? They don't. And MBA schools teach theoretical concepts that were relevant last century, and they teach you bogus theoretical concepts like supply and demand curves, which nobody uses in the real world anyway. Now, unlike traditional MBA programs, my MBA program covers all of these concepts and much more, and it's always up to date. Now, after I graduated from Columbia, I worked at Goldman Sachs in New York City. Then I worked at the top hedge funds in the world, including one called Citadel that relocated my family from New York City to the San Francisco Bay Area, where I invested in technology stocks. I then started a hedge fund and a venture capital firm where I had a pre-IPO investment in my fund in Facebook, Palantir, and other companies. And something was missing though, because when I had my annual reviews at all the companies I'd worked for in the past, it was really uncomfortable for my bosses, I should say. They would always start my annual performance review with, "Chris, you're exceeding expectations, you're a top performer, and you're a great teammate and fun to work with. But can you spend a little bit less time mentoring people in other departments of the firm?" And I got awards for this, for helping people. And my answer was always respectfully no, because you can't expect your dreams to come true without first helping other people's dreams come true. And it always gives me a lot of satisfaction helping people with their careers. This is why I do what I do. Now, I love venture capital, as I got to sit on many boards and I started many companies, and I humbly did well. But I found my true passion is actually teaching. I love teaching and helping students take their careers to the next level. So what I did was I taught at a bunch of Bay Area MBA programs during the evenings, and I even won an award for Professor of the Year from one school. And I want to help you find your passion too. Okay, now, during the weekends when I used to work in VC, what I would do is I would volunteer with charities in East Palo Alto, here in the San Francisco Bay Area, where the high school graduation rate is only 40%. And so many of these poor kids here, students I should say, have deadbeat fathers. And what I did was I mentored them all. And what I did was I created a course for them called an entire MBA in one day. And then what I did was I threw up a camera at home as I wanted to record that one-day program and help other people all over the world. And so what I did was I called the 8-hour online course, which many of you have probably heard of, an entire MBA in one course. And I'm humbled to say that course alone has sold more than 400,000 copies. And I never did it for the money. And I tell my students that if you chase money, you lose your dreams and your money. But if you chase your passion and your dreams, and you don't give a damn what other people think of you, then something wonderful happens. Your dreams come true, and the money follows accidentally. It always does. And you can't reinvent yourself or make a dent in the universe unless you follow your heart and chase your passion. Now, all the best entrepreneurs never chase money. They chase their dreams. And I want to humbly help you realize your dreams, as again, I can't expect to realize my dreams until I first help my students' dreams become a reality. Now, my passion is helping you. And my passion is also building schools with my profits all over the world. So in 2021, I went to Rwanda, where we started building a school in Rwanda with a platinum MBA student of mine named Vital from the Haroun MBA program. And that's my purpose and passion. And I'm going to help you find yours as well. Now, my MBA program is not only based on my work experience on Wall Street, working at Goldman Sachs. It's also based on my work experience working in the venture capital sector here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And it's not just US focused. It's global in nature as well, because I've worked all over the world and I've invested in stocks all over the world as well in my career. Now, our next gold and platinum a one-year MBA degree program class starts on Monday, May the 1st. And classes are going to be every Monday and Tuesday from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. Pacific time. And we start on Monday, May 1st, 2023. And the last class is about 1 year later. And classes are 3 hours long every Monday and Tuesday from 9 a.m. until noon Pacific time, plus live Q&A and Zoom after all topics during all classes. So each Monday and Tuesday, we cover 3 topics. And after all 3 topics, I stop and take questions over YouTube live chat there or over Zoom. And you don't have to watch all the classes live. You can watch the replays of them or just watch the classes that you're most interested in. And there's barely any homework as you learn during class, as it's education, meaning educational and entertaining. Gosh, can't speak today. And my license plate actually is edutain as well. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Now, there's about 100 classes, and there's a short quiz after each class, which takes you hardly any time to finish. And this means that there's 100 quizzes, and in order to pass and receive the MBA degree, all you need to do is get over 50% on half of the 100 quizzes. And I set it up this way because not all of my students are interested in the same content. And I really want this to be truly your MBA on your terms. Now, the Gold and Platinum program attendees all watch the same classes and Q&A sessions. And they also, the Gold and Platinum students, have access to my office hours every single Thursday for 2 hours, which is Zoom-based or YouTube chat-based, whatever you want. It's every Thursday from 11:20 a.m. Pacific time until 1:20 Pacific time. It's 2 hours every week. And you've got access to the weekly office hours for Gold and Platinum students forever, even after this MBA ends in 1 year. And if you're in the Platinum program, you also get 3 hours of one-on-one Zoom calls with me spread out throughout the year. And the one-on-one Zoom calls are 20 minutes each on Mondays, Tuesdays, or Thursdays between 1:30 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. And during the 3 hours of one-on-one meetings, meaning 180 minutes for 20-minute sessions, so 9 meetings in total, during the one-on-ones, I will literally write your entire LinkedIn profile if you want me to, and I'll humbly and confidentially help you with any business or career-related topic, from how to interview or how to ask for a raise or a promotion, or how to grow your startup, or any other project you want me to help you with. Okay, let's take a look now at the prices and what is included in the Gold and Platinum MBA program. So let's go together to this web address, dayoneNotOneday.com. So let me go there with you. Okay. So let's go to dayoneNotOneday.com. I'm going to turn on the AC. It's getting a little bit hot in here. Okay, cool. So you can click here to set up a Zoom call with me to talk about the program if you want to. But the Gold program is $999. Okay, that's $500 off for a limited time. And the Platinum program is $1,499, and that's $1,000 off for a limited time. Seats are available first come, first serve. And if it's sold out, don't worry. I'll do another session this fall and next year as well. Okay, so you'll see a silver one here as well. So silver is kind of like Netflix. It's on demand. You can watch all the 300 plus hours of classes, way over that now, if you want to, anytime you want to, okay? And you don't get access to me for one-on-ones. Now, and you can't watch the classes live with me or ask me questions after each topic. The Gold and Platinum program is more expensive because you get access to me in a group Zoom setting every single day of the week forever, okay? And also, you watch the classes live with me if you want to. And if you sign up today, you get immediate access to all the classes, just like with Silver, okay? And if you have additional questions about this after you look through this pricing table here, please let me know. And I encourage you to click these buttons here so that you can look at the curriculum as well, what's going to be taught on which days. And the class schedule is here as well. 30-day money-back guarantee, and a bunch of other stuff as well. And if you're a Silver MBA student, you get $250 off upgrade coupon. Okay, cool. Let me go back now to my slides over here. I'm using a software package called Wirecast. All right, here we go. Fun. Okay. All right, let's now discuss what is included in the MBA program, meaning what do I teach about in the 1-year Gold and Platinum MBA program starting on May the 1st. So there's six different pillars, and give me 1 second to go over here to PowerPoint. There's 6 different pillars in the program, and I mentioned the brand new technology pillar, where I teach you programming and every Excel feature from scratch. And the technology part of the MBA is brand new. So let's discuss the other 5 components of the MBA. So the second pillar, as you can see here, is finance and accounting. And I'll teach you finance and accounting from scratch, assuming you have no finance or accounting experience. And if you do have finance or accounting experience, I want you to forget everything you've learned because I'm going to teach you a brand new way and an easier way to learn with lots and lots of props, because it's easier and more fun to learn with props and visuals. And all the stuff I teach is based on my work experience on Wall Street, having worked at Goldman Sachs and in the hedge fund industry and in the venture capital industry. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to read financial statements like a good book. And I'll teach you about mergers and acquisitions, investment banking, etc., using real life case studies. And I'll give you so many investing tools and templates so you can analyze any investment before deciding to invest. Instead of giving you a fish, what I do is I teach you how to fish so that you're a long-term investor and you can make smart investment decisions. And I don't want you to ever rely on anybody's advice, including mine, on what to buy when you invest, which is why I teach you and provide you with many templates so you can decide for yourself. And nobody is smarter than you. And I believe that with my whole heart, that I licensed this very short, life-changing interview with Steve Jobs from the Silicon Valley Historical Association here in the San Francisco Bay Area.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing, is to shake off this erroneous notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it, versus embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it. I think that's very important. And however you learn that, once you learn it, you'll want to change life and make it better, because it's kind of messed up in a lot of ways. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again.
Also included in the finance and accounting pillar in a 30-hour elective, I will teach you how professional investors do advanced investment and portfolio analysis, and how they use basic and advanced option strategy to protect their money and make money too, of course. Now, here's a very short video about the finance and accounting part of the MBA program. Do you want to learn all of the practical finance and accounting skills that you need to be successful in a really fun way from scratch? In this track, we cover everything from managing your personal finances to even starting a hedge fund and everything in between. I teach you the basics and the advanced ways to analyze and value companies, create a diversified investment portfolio. I also teach you how to invest in stocks, bonds, commodities, real estate, and even advanced options topics covering derivatives, investing in options, future swaps, and much more. And I promise you that I will explain it all in a fun and easy to understand way from scratch. You will learn how to use my VFT, meaning Valuation, Fundamentals, and Technicals Investment Research Framework, that uses my specially designed 100-step process and comprehensive, brand new state-of-the-art investment template to research and analyze stocks to ensure that you can pick profitable investments in the long run. When you finish this track, you will be able to manage portfolios like a professional by using the many financial models and frameworks I provide you with to outperform your competition, regardless of whether it's your own money, your client's money, or corporate or government portfolios. This track is so comprehensive and enjoyable. You can go from being financially illiterate to a savvy professional investor in practically no time at all, with the methods that you'll learn to use in these easy to apply lessons. It's never too late to learn how to invest in your future. So please check it out. We can't wait to have you join us. Thank you. The third pillar of the MBA program is called entrepreneurship, where I teach you how to start a company or improve your current company. And during the entrepreneurship part of the program, we've got a 15-hour venture capital boot camp. Okay? It's a venture capital boot camp where I teach you how to start a company or improve your current company or department if you work at a big company. I also teach you how to raise money, like a student of mine that I mentioned that raised $11.5 million from Tim Draper and others. And Draper was an early investor in Baidu, Twitter, and Tesla. And the venture capital bootcamp part of the MBA is based on my work experience in venture capital, where I invested in Facebook pre-IPO, and based on companies I've started and the boot camps I've been a part of at Stanford University. Now, the Stanford Graduate School of Business MBA program has one venture capital class. And part of the curriculum for several years, I was involved on panels and I mentored many Stanford MBA students with their business models while they were doing their MBAs at Stanford as part of their curriculum. And all this venture capital knowledge I will teach you in the entrepreneurship part of the MBA degree program. And so here's a very short video on the entrepreneurship track. Over the last decade, there's been an explosion of entrepreneurship with the advancement of technology. The amazing thing is that anybody can start companies now with very little capital and in any country. But sadly, most of these businesses will fail within 2 years. Now, the difference between success and failure is planning and execution, because failing to plan is planning to fail. In the entrepreneurship track, we have what I call our venture capital boot camp. I guide you through all the practical steps that you need to grow your existing company or launch a new company, including raising money, creating a rock-solid go-to-market business strategy, building your management team, determining the product and or service that you're selling, and creating financial statements the easy way. I have a lot of experience with venture capital, as I've participated as a teacher and a keynote speaker at venture capital events all over the world, including judging business models on many occasions at the Stanford University Graduate School of Business. In the entrepreneurship track of the program, you are given many up-to-date and easy-to-use templates for writing a business plan, including finding your customers, researching your competition, and securing the necessary financials to ensure your company's success. This section is jam-packed with practical skills and knowledge that will give graduates the upper hand in the new economy. Students are provided with the step-by-step lessons to launch and execute a successful business idea that will thrive today and in the future. If you've ever dreamed of starting your own business, you'll be armed with the essential tools needed to ensure success. Learn why relationships are more important than product knowledge, and together, let's build your business empire. I'll see you in the program. Thank you. The fourth of 6 pillars is called sales, marketing, and communications, where I teach you how to sell anything, including yourself. And the best CEOs and entrepreneurs are amazing salespeople. And I'll teach you how to reinvent yourself and get more customers, a better job, and way, way more. And we study the best entrepreneurs and we don't study theory. I'll also teach you how to use YouTube or other social media products to enhance your career. And I'll also teach you how to communicate better and speak gooder too. That was awful dad humor. I'm sorry. I've got to apologize because in the MBA program, there may be too much dad humor, but that's okay because you've got a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. Now, in the MBA program, you will also learn how to use the video and audio equipment that you have to create an incredible Zoom or Wirecast experience for your viewers from your home. And one of my amazing platinum students, Evelyn, that graduated recently, just took her career to the next level using the audio and visual concepts taught in the MBA program. And Evelyn inspires me so much. And she told me that an amazing Zoom setup at home does the same thing for your career that an incredible Italian suit does as well. Now, here's a very quick video on what the sales, marketing, and communications pillar is all about. Two of the most important skills you need to succeed in your career are the ability to sell and the ability to market yourself. But traditional MBAs place very little, if any, emphasis on this area. They're stuck teaching theories that no longer have any relevance in modern society. In this section of the program called Sales, Marketing, and Communications, you'll learn how to sell, including your products, your services, and most importantly, yourself. I will teach you frameworks for qualifying your leads more effectively, along with an assortment of tips, tools, and techniques that you can use to elevate the value of your offer to your current or potential customers. I will teach you how to sell better than anybody you know. You'll also learn how to communicate effectively during meetings and during presentations, as well as how to appeal to your customers' emotions and how to use empathy as your secret weapon. Inside this track of the program, you'll learn all of the skills needed to navigate the modern business landscape and succeed in any job. Don't sell yourself short. Learn how to get what you're worth. Come and check it out for yourself. Thank you. The fifth pillar is called Economics Management and Strategy. And I teach you how global finance works, including how interest rates work and much, much more, and how the government floods the market with currency in order to change interest rates. I'll explain all this stuff using a lot of props. This is fake money. I'm a nerd. I love all my props. It's fun to teach that way. Okay. We also use many frameworks to analyze companies that top consulting firms like Accenture and McKinsey use to analyze companies. And I provide you with all the frameworks and all the, I got to use another prop here. I provide you with all the frameworks and all the arrows in your quiver that you need, meaning all the tools, so you can work smarter and not harder as you build your empire. My props down here. You should see the floor. There's props everywhere. Yeah. Okay. Now here's a short video of what else to expect in this part of the MBA program. Inside the Economics Management and Strategy section of the Haroun MBA degree program, we focus on teaching relevant information for the real world. We also examine how governments affect the economy and what that means for investors. In addition, we analyze successful companies and industry leaders' best practices, which you can apply to your career to take your career to the next level. We'll also learn everything there is to know about cryptocurrencies when we take a deep dive into the topic and consider what impact they will have on the financial systems in the future. This section is full of relevant case studies, including Apple potentially buying Nintendo. This section also includes many frameworks and research systems that graduates always rave about that have taken this program, because it provides them with actionable lessons that they can put into use right away to greatly impact their future wealth. We also discuss, in an entertaining and educational way, fiscal policy, monetary policy, international trade, how to manage and motivate people, and so much more. So take control of your financial future. Success is closer than it seems. Join us now and learn how to achieve your future dreams faster. I'll see you on the inside of the program. Thank you. In the sixth and final pillar, we have what's called personal growth, where I help you accomplish much more every single day using many templates, including this one here, which I provide you in many file formats. And this will help you accomplish more while being well-rounded, so you have more time for exercise and much, much more in your life. And if you want to get something done, you give it to a busy person, which will be you. And I'll help you with conquering any lack of confidence we might have that are holding us back from reaching our full potential. And I'll teach you how to network and make the best LinkedIn profile and resume too, so you can get the job of your dreams or investors or customers of your dreams as well. And your network is your net worth. And relationships are crucial in business. And I'll teach you how to network on steroids. Now, I humbly believe that the personal growth pillar, let me get my gold props here. I humbly believe that the personal growth pillar is more valuable than all 5 of the other pillars in this comprehensive MBA degree program. And again, I love teaching with props. I love visualizing stuff. Okay. So here's our 6th and final video on what the personal growth pillar is all about. Welcome to the personal growth track of the program, where you will develop a crystal clear image of the person and future you truly desire. You will learn how to identify and create a blueprint for the future that you want. Now, in this track, you will redefine your image of yourself and grow your confidence by pushing your limits. You'll also be able to market yourself far more effectively because you will have developed the inner belief that fuels your dreams. You will gain improved communication skills that will have a lasting positive impact, both personally and professionally, for the rest of your life, so that you can get the dream job or change careers or get promoted and so much more. Get the confidence and tools you need to create the life that you want. Make the best decision you can make for your future and join me. Thank you. Let's talk about topic 2 of 3, which is some frequently asked questions about the MBA program. Now, one I get quite often is, can I take the program if I have no knowledge of any business or finance or accounting concepts? Absolutely. No prior knowledge is required. We have many doctors and engineers and MBA graduates from top MBA schools that take my MBA program, and they always say they learned way more in my program at a fraction of the cost. And we've had graduates that are in their early 20s and in their early 70s from all over the world, and all with unique backgrounds that really enhances the student body from a networking perspective. Now, another question I get quite often is, what if I don't have enough time to watch the classes or do the short quizzes? And do I have to quit my job? No, you don't have to quit your job, because you only have to take half of the quizzes and get over 50% in order to pass. And you can even do the quizzes during class. They're really short. Or if you do them after class, it'll take no more than 5 minutes. Also, you don't have to do the program in 1 year. You can take as long as you want to. This is a flexible and affordable MBA program that you can take on your own terms. And you have access to all of the content and new content I add forever. And you don't need a university degree to register for my MBA program. Another question I get is, are there opportunities to network with other students? Absolutely. Using Slack and Zoom, and also in our in-person graduation and networking events. Now, here's a short video from our last graduation ceremony, which students attended in person, or they watched it on the live webcast.
Good morning to my amazing global MBA family.
So you now officially have everything you need to build something far bigger than yourself. Okay? And so we are now 100% done the MBA degree program. Congratulations. Excellent. He's from Mississauga. It's my hometown. Next up, we've got Christian Chang. Dion Vernon. Now, I I want to end this MBA degree program right now on this positive note. And I want you to get up and start working on architecting your perfect life, armed with what you've learned in this MBA degree program. And more importantly, armed with this new empowering belief that you have in yourself. Now, this is not the end. It is not the beginning of the end. It is perhaps the end of the beginning. Believe in yourself and think with your heart first. I believe in you and I love you. Thank you.
Our next graduation and alumni networking in-person event is here in the San Francisco Bay Area on Saturday and Sunday, August 12th and 13th of 2023. And any past or present gold or platinum student can attend in person, even if you've not graduated yet. And during the 2-day event, I also do in-person one-on-one meetings with my platinum students, half-hour increments. All right, another question I get is the Haroun MBA degree program accredited? No. Because accredited traditional old school MBA programs don't help you achieve your full potential. And they don't teach you practical business concepts that will help you become successful. And this is not a degree mill. I want to help my students, and I have, and I'll continue to. And government accreditation means that I would have to have a board that will make me teach theoretical concepts that you won't use in the real world. And here's what business icons have to say about accredited traditional old school MBA programs. Let's kick it off with Elon Musk, who said, as much as possible, avoid hiring MBAs. MBA programs don't teach you how to create companies. Our position is that we hire someone in spite of an MBA, not because of one. Sheryl Sandberg, who's the former COO of Facebook, said, while I got great value from my experience, MBAs are not necessary at Facebook, and I don't believe they are important for working in the tech industry. Guy Kawasaki, great guy, he was an early employee at Apple, said, for every full-time engineer, add $500,000 in company value. For every full-time MBA, subtract $250,000. Peter Thiel, who is the top venture capitalist in the world, said this of traditional MBA students. Never hire an MBA. They will ruin your company. And Mark Andreessen, who is also a top venture capitalist here in Silicon Valley, and I met him when, and I was on the same board as he was on when I was in VC. But he said this, MBA graduating classes are actually a reliable indicator. If they all want to go into investment banking, if they all want to go into investment banking, there's going to be a financial crisis. If they want to go into tech, that means a bubble is forming. Scott Cook, who's a Harvard MBA graduate and the founder of Intuit, had this to say. When MBAs come to us, we have to fundamentally retrain them. Nothing they learned will help them succeed at innovation. And lastly, marketing guru, Seth Godin, he's the best marketing guru on the planet, and he's also a Stanford MBA. He said this, an MBA has become a two-part machine. First, the students are taught everything they need to know to manage a company from 1990. And second, they're taken out of the real world. They're taken out of the real world. That's how we say it in Canada, out. Yeah, it's not out. So I would love to have you join us in my gold or platinum MBA program that starts on May the 1st. And please go to the following website, Day One, Not One Day, and sign up. And we have lots of testimonials at that website, meaning day1notoneday.com, from graduates. And feel free to reach out to any gold or platinum MBA graduates on LinkedIn as well. And you might have other questions about certain topics covered in the MBA program, meaning are they covered or not? And the best way to answer this is two ways. Number one, you can either look at the entire curriculum, and the second way is to set up a one-on-one Zoom call with me. And you can do this by going to this website here, okay, Day One, Not One Day, and then you can click on that blue button that you see down there. It says, set up a call with Chris Haroun to discuss the MBA program.
And you can purchase the Gold and Platinum MBA program today at dayoneNotOneday.com. And positions are limited, and the $500 off Gold sales price ends soon, as does the $1,000 off Platinum program. And if you have additional questions, you can either ask me in a few minutes using YouTube chat or using Zoom, and I'll explain how to get on Zoom in a minute. Okay, now we have students from all over the world that have taken and benefited from the program. Rather than me just reading these testimonials to you, I'll just tell you where they're from. We've got Eileen de Gracias. I love her last name. It's Spanish for thank God. What a wonderful name. And I met with Eileen actually in Atlanta 2 summers ago. Yeah. We have students from the Philippines like Dr. Mark Vincent Besa. And Dr. Mark, what he did was he networked like crazy, and he used the social media strategies I taught him. And what happened was he was offered a job from the World Health Organization in Somalia. He turned the job down, but he networked a lot, and he actually got a job. He left the Philippines. He's now in the United Kingdom as a doctor there. Good guy. We have Dave Capel from the United States here. He used to work at Autodesk. Good guy. He's funny. I think he's originally from France. We have Akhil from India, who started a couple companies, and he networked like crazy, using the concepts taught in the MBA program to get a meeting with Sequoia, which is the best VC firm in the world, to pitch one of his startups. Okay, that's a dupe, sorry. We have Stella from North Korea. We have Yoshida-san from Japan. We have Vital, who's from Germany. This is the student that I helped to, and I funded the school we built in Rwanda. We've got students from Pakistan, Australia, Jason Blythe. We've got Doris from the United Kingdom, Lamarck from the Philippines, Dante from Canada. We have students from Portugal, Ghana, and you can always pause this webcast just to read these if you want to. And Fanny from the United States, Andre from I think the Missouri area, Julien from Canada, Lithuania. We have Solly, he's from Iran originally. He now lives in Lithuania. And we have Dave from Belgium, Stephen from Canada, etc. Okay. Now, I spent over $1 million on the program so far. And you can take the program on a laptop, a desktop, a tablet, or your phone, and all lectures have the highest quality closed captions added. And each lesson has a unique background, as you can see right here, has a unique background with many props to make the learning environment fun and engaging. I changed the background for almost every single class just to mix it up and make it fun. Okay, cool. All right. Now, before I answer your YouTube chat questions and before I answer your Zoom questions, let's move on to the free gifts. Okay, so please go to this website here. Okay, it's harounmba.com/zoomday1. That's all lowercase. Okay, in order to get the following two free gifts. Gift number 1. There we go. Gift number 1 is my course called the Complete Personal Finance Course. And gift number 2 is my course called Introduction to Finance Accounting, Valuation, and Modeling. And at the top of this webpage, where you get the 2 free gifts here, you can also click this link here. Yeah, it worked. You can click this link here to get access to Zoom if you want to set up a 20-minute one-on-one meeting with me to talk about joining the Gold or Platinum program. Now, while I wait for people to join Zoom, the Zoom call today, what I'll do is I'll play a very short trailer from the course I'm giving away today for free called Introduction to Finance, Accounting, Modeling, and Valuation.
When you think of accounting and finance, what comes to mind? Don't worry, this is not my course. I have something just a little more special planned for you. Do you want to learn about accounting and finance in a way that you've never been taught before? Of course you do. My visual approach will teach you everything you need to know, and it will be a lot of fun. In fact, you'll wonder why you weren't taught this way in school. Oh, and if you get a moment, please check out the student reviews to see how so many people have enjoyed the learning experience. And you know what the best part is?
No experience is necessary to take this course. So if you don't know how to model and value a company, analyze a cash flow statement, or understand the difference between growth and value investing, not to worry. We will cover all of those concepts from scratch. So why should you learn accounting and finance from me? I have an MBA in finance from Columbia University. But more importantly, I have work experience in the real world, from Goldman Sachs to several hedge funds, to venture capital and consulting firms. I've raised and managed over $1 billion in my career. Now I'm passionate about sharing my knowledge and experience. My life has turned full circle, from my own education to my experience in business, to investing in and founding several companies. Instead of teaching boring finance and accounting theory, I teach based on my own real-life practical experience, and it has led me right here to you. I want you to understand how to create, analyze, and forecast an income statement, a balance sheet, and a cash flow statement. I want you to thoroughly understand and enjoy finance and accounting so that you can be inspired to achieve all of your career goals. I have the tools needed to get the job done. So let's do it. I'll see you in class.
All right, I want to do a quick sound check. Let me know if my voice is too high. What I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease the volume here a bit. Let me know if that's better right there or if I should turn it up or change it. Okay, great. And big shout out to Adad Warda, who made that promotional trailer you just saw. What I did was I flew to the Czech Republic to record 8 of my promotional trailers with Adad. And what I'm doing the next couple of weeks is Adad is creating, we call it the Super Bowl commercial for my programs and for my Excel course. I can't wait to show it to you guys. It's going to be epic and completely over the top, which is all about who I am. All right, let me answer your questions about the MBA program quickly, and then I'll go into Chetan's questions about the U.S. debt crisis and all that stuff as well. If anybody wants to join Zoom, then just go to that link that I told you about, or go to harounmba.com/Zoom, all lowercase. And I'll come back to Zoom in a bit. I see a bunch of people are waiting in the room there. Just wait for me to come by, please. All right, let me get to your questions. All right, first up, I'll go bottom up. DE wrote, how does the MBA program compare in level of standards to other MBAs? Yeah, so this MBA degree program is a practical MBA degree program. As I mentioned in the video you guys just watched there, the replay of a previous webcast. As I mentioned, most MBA programs don't teach you the most important skill sets in business you need to succeed, including how to present, how to network, how to get a job, how to ask for a raise, how to ask for a promotion. How to raise money, how to start a company, how to manage your own money. They teach you how to manage other people's money. And so creating this program was because I created it because I was so frustrated with the MBA that I got at Columbia University. And all my buddies that went to Harvard Business School were also frustrated that they didn't really learn practical stuff that we can apply in the real world. Yeah. Okay. Next up, Fred, how are you, man? Good to see you. Fred graduated from my Platinum program 2 years ago. Great to see you. And thank you for sending that picture of yourself with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I love that. And my favorite quote from Dwayne Johnson is, when you got your back against the wall, there's only one way to move. Yeah. Okay. Hope you're doing well. All right, next up.
Testing.
Oops. All right, hold on a second. Somebody is testing there over on... Okay, on Zoom. Okay, keep joining Zoom. I put you guys on mute for a minute while I answer other questions. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go top down to answer other questions you guys have, non-MBA stuff. Okay, and I'm not going to be mentioning gold or platinum again, probably until next year on a webcast, because our next gold and platinum program is going to launch next year, which will be our 8th annual program. Over the next 10 months, I'm going to be working 24/7 on making sure that we add all the technology stuff to my MBA degree program, including how to use Python and everything you need to know about artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Tableau, Power BI, etc. Okay, cool. All right, Chetan is asking, Professor Chris is back again for the 227th weekly webcast to enlighten us, thank you, with his wisdom or lack thereof. Good morning, sir. Chris, please. Good morning.
How would a U.S. debt bubble burst look like if it takes place? How would the bond markets collapse? Yeah, there's a lot of fear out there. So, first of all, I don't think we're going to see a United States debt bubble burst in the near term or a material bond sell-off because of globalization. And because of globalization, all major economies are just too correlated. And if the Chinese government stopped buying U.S. debt, it would really hurt their economy more, as they're really reliant on the United States for exports. And if they stopped buying U.S. bonds, then of course a trade war would occur, which would lead to too much civil unrest in China. We don't want to see that. Yeah. Now, longer term, the Chinese government is focused on growing its domestic economy so that it's not as reliant on the United States for exports. So a debt bubble bursting for the United States is really unlikely in the near term, that is. Okay. Now, historically, it's important to note, because people are freaking out now, they should not be. Historically, when debt ratings for first world countries have been downgraded, the market is usually higher 1 year later. And the precedents and data behind this is when the US debt, Japanese debt, and Canadian debt ratings were downgraded. 1 year later, those three markets were higher. Okay. Now, if there was a debt default in the United States, then of course, we would immediately go into a severe recession. One just as severe as what we saw in the United States in 2008, and unemployment would immediately spike to well above 10%. But it's important to not panic, though, when the United States government talks about a shutdown, meaning if they don't have enough money for the budget. Okay? And the reason I say don't panic is this is just posturing or saber rattling between Republicans and Democrats. And they always find a way to come up with the money for the budget. Okay. Now let's quickly pivot and talk about the health of the U.S. economy. So I'm sure a lot of you saw that first quarter GDP numbers came out, and growth was only 1.1% year over year. And economists expect the third quarter of this year to be slightly negative, and then slightly positive in the fourth quarter of this year. Okay. Now the definition of a recession is 2 consecutive quarters of year-over-year declines in GDP. So I would say the probability of a recession in the second half of this year is about 50-50 at this point. Now, next year is an election year. So there's just too much at stake for the United States to start a trade war with China. And the good thing about globalization is that there's a sort of moral hazard in place on both sides, meaning China and the United States must continue trading together, which means China will continue to buy U.S. debt, in my humble opinion. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next question is, can you talk about Worldcom, Bernie Ebert's company? That's right. Canadian, I think. Yeah. Which quickly surpassed Enron. Ticker was ENE. I had a lot of friends that shorted it to zero. Can you talk about that as the biggest bankruptcy in history at that time? Yeah. So both WorldCom and Enron hid massive amounts of debt, which is, of course, accounting fraud. Now, WorldCom, what they did was they overstated their assets by $11 billion. Then they didn't have enough cash to pay. I think it was $7 or $8 billion worth of debt in 2002. So what they did was they declared Chapter 11. Now, let me quickly talk about Chapter 11 bankruptcy and what it means and why it's a beautiful thing. Okay. So in 1979, the United States government, what they did was they created 300 bankruptcy courts across the country. And there were a bunch of different chapters as part of this bankruptcy code. And so the 11th chapter was about companies declaring bankruptcy. And it's an amazing place to run a company in America, because if you declare Chapter 11 bankruptcy, then what happens is you have like a force field around you that's protecting you for about 4 months, and nobody can touch you or take your money away. And during those 4 months, when you declare Chapter 11, what you can do is you can talk to all of your debt holders and say, hey, I can't pay you back. Can I pay you back at a lower interest rate or pay you back a little bit less? And most of the debt holders are like, sure, yeah, I'd rather get something rather than nothing. And the beautiful thing about Chapter 11 bankruptcy is 4 months later, more than 70% of companies that declare Chapter 11 come out better off than ever, as long as there's no fraud. Okay, so WorldCom declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy and there was fraud. So obviously it was shut down. Now, when a company goes bankrupt or has debt issues, the first people to get their money back, the investors with a senior claim, are the bondholders, meaning the debt holders, okay? Then the preferred shareholders, and then the lowest of the low, right there, the lowest of the low are the common shareholders, right? Just think of the word common versus preferred. Preferred, you get preferential treatment. And when you own stocks on the stock market, it's almost always common shares. Okay. Now, whenever there is a financial crisis, then regulation occurs. For example, after the 1929 stock market crash, the Securities Exchange Commission was created. After Worldcom and Enron collapsed, Sarbanes-Oxley was created to protect investors in 2002. Similarly, after the FTX crypto scandal, I think the SEC is going to create new regulations to protect consumers from crypto fraud, to make crypto companies file ICO documents similar to IPO documents per this Meta IPO document here. Now, we know that in the United States, in all major stock markets, if you want to go public, you have to get investment bankers, and lawyers to write these big fat documents that list all the risks. The problem with cryptocurrencies is that, and I believe most cryptos are a scam, and I've said this since day one, the problem with cryptocurrencies is when you do research in these things, you got a white paper and a couple other things, and you're like, where's all the disclosure? So the SEC, I think, is going to make crypto companies file these things. And what's happening in the Southern District of New York, in New York State, in the courts there, is that the government is trying to sue Ripple, XRP is the ticker, because they raised $1 billion years ago without making an SEC filing. And everybody in crypto land is watching that closely because the outcome of that will determine new regulation. And my humble thoughts on this is that they are going to lose that lawsuit, and the SEC is going to make all crypto companies file these things. And that's a good thing, I think, because so many of my students, like what you guys don't hear behind the scenes, is so many of my students have been scammed out of thousands and thousands of dollars. And by the way, if you ever see somebody with my name and my icon on any social media platform asking you for cryptos, you know it's not me. I just got verified finally on Instagram, and I paid for verification on Twitter as well. So just be careful. Yeah. All right. I'd never scam my students. Okay. All right. Next up, the question is, the cost to insure U.S. debt has reached the highest since 2012. Yeah. So actually, the cost to insure U.S. debt through 1 year credit default swaps, it's up 15 basis points since the beginning of this year. It's now at 106 basis points, which is the highest since 2011. Okay. Now, this implies that the probability of U.S. default is higher now, but I still think it's unlikely. Plus, liquidity on these 1 year credit default swaps is really, really low. So it's really tough to read too much into this at this point. Okay. All right. Next question I've got here is, Zoralina wrote, good morning, Chris. Good to see you. Zoralina is one of my silver students based in Canada. You wrote, looking forward to the silver meeting later today. Me too. Okay. And I hope your two cats are doing well. Mimi and Mumu, right? And we have two cats now too. All right. Next up, we have Manas in India, who wrote, good morning, my dear mentor. Chris, please. God bless you. You wrote, hope all is well. How is the day there? It's so cool and good here. Rainy and yet so cozy and warming up, kind of like it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here, man. Yesterday was gorgeous as well. Sorry about all this clutter on my desk, but it's a beautiful day. Gorgeous day. I'll leave this open actually to get some air in here. But it is wonderful. I went on the longest e-bike ride last night ever. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to read this next question, and I'll go down to the bottom, see if there's more questions about the MBA program. I'm going to try my best to answer all your questions today. We have 50 minutes left. I think we can do it. Let me check Zoom real quick here. Okay, so a couple people are on Zoom. If you have a question, raise your hand. Okay, I'll only open up Zoom if you raise your hand, please. Thank you so much. All right, next up, Manas wrote, First Republic Bank, FRB, is on the verge of bankruptcy. The stock is down to 5 from 120. It needs $100 billion to stay afloat. Why are banks falling like leaves? And will this put more debt to the $30 trillion in debt? So yeah, so it's important to note that in Silicon Valley, there are two primary banks that do the debt side of VC deals. Okay, one of them is SVB, or was sort of SVB, and the other is First Republic. Okay, so the fact that First Republic is having issues is really self-fulfilling. It's not much of a surprise, and I'm sure a lot of hedge funds are short this stock as well. So it's the government. What they're going to do is they're going to make sure that mid-cap banks are protected, but there's a lot of fear out there, and intuitively it makes sense to do more business with banks that are too big to fail, like JP Morgan or Wells Fargo, for example. And the SVB crisis could have been avoided, and it just became self-fulfilling for SVB, which was an icon in the VC sector. And now it's becoming self-fulfilling for First Republic. Yeah. But if I were starting a company today, I'd probably be more inclined to want to have my bank be a big bank like a JP Morgan or a Wells Fargo. Yeah. But I don't think the U.S. government will let a lot of these mid-cap banks default. But the probability of a mid-cap bank going under is, of course, much higher than a large-cap bank, which is why I humbly recommend if you don't already, use a big bank. Yeah. But I don't want to spread fear out there because things are never as bad as we think. Okay. All right. Let me go to the bottom and then come back up to see if there's any more questions about the MBA. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. All right. I don't see any more. Ask anything you guys want. This is your time. All right. Next question is about my hedge fund. Why I'm no longer in the hedge fund industry. The primary reason is because it was so short-term focused, and I was more interested in doing venture capital deals. So I actually morphed my hedge fund into a hedge fund / VC company, and then I just did VC. So in my hedge fund, we actually had an investment in Meta, Facebook, which helped us a lot with performance in a certain year. And I decided, screw it, let's do it, as Sir Richard Branson says, to focus only on venture capital. Yeah. And I have a lot of friends that went to jail as well in the hedge fund industry, and I hated it. Now, I've never done anything unethical at all. Have I left money on the table because of that? Sure. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not motivated by money. But I went to visit friends in jail, down in a jail called Taft in Southern California. And when you go to jail for this sort of thing, for insider trading, when you go to jail for insider trading, it's not like a maximum security jail. It's called Club Fed, and it's kind of a silly term, but it's like a low-end Ramada. So when I went to visit my friends down in prison, it's not maximum security. Like the inmates are allowed to go out front in front of the building, outside of the gates, but so they can sweep the parking lot. They all have jobs there, and they get paid a couple pennies an hour. But obviously you can't leave. Yeah. Okay. But I encourage everybody to be long-term focused. You cannot make money as a trader. You have to be long-term focused. And the best hedge funds on the planet are the ones that are longer-term focused, like Citadel, big hedge fund I worked for years ago, or Tiger Cubs. So Tiger was a big hedge fund started by Julian Robertson. And a lot of people came out of Tiger to start their own hedge funds. Those are called Tiger Cubs. And they have 3 to 5 year investment horizons as well. Yeah. So if you're going to short stocks, and I recommend being very careful with that, what I want you to do is be very, very long-term focused and think about risk management as well, which is something I teach in my MBA degree program. You can also use options, which is also taught in my MBA degree program. It's part of a 30-hour elective. Yeah. Okay. All right, next up, Catherine, good to see you too. You wrote, what's your opinion on inclusive capitalism? I don't know what that means. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay. Stenmere wrote, hey, Chris, hey. You wrote, I wanted to say how content I am with the purchase of your crypto course. Thank you. And I wanted to ask you, how would you structure your entire investment portfolio if you had to start all over again? Yeah, I wouldn't make any changes. So I've always thought that cryptos are a scam. I've been on the boards of cryptocurrency companies. I've been mining since 2013. When I worked in the venture capital sector in 2013, I was on boards of VC companies as well. I've known about the risks since day one. And as a result, since I released that course in 2018, which I updated quite a bit last year, since I released that course, I've always been telling students never to put more than 5% of your liquid net worth in cryptocurrencies, and never put more than 0.5% of your liquid net worth in any one particular crypto. And I've always publicly disclosed what 4 cryptos I've owned for years, which I'm never selling, which are as follows. And I've said this publicly lots of times before. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripple, and Ethereum. I love Ethereum because it's a platform, right? And the best technology investments are always ones where you own the platform. Like iOS is a platform with Apple. So is Android, so is LinkedIn, so is Facebook, etc. When it comes to Ethereum, Ethereum is the quintessential platform for ICOs, right? So most companies that do ICOs, which is like an IPO for cryptos, do it on the Ethereum platform. And NFTs are also, for the most part, done on the Ethereum platform. Now, I'm starting to roll up my sleeves and do a lot of work on NFTs right now. Why? Because nobody else is. And you got to be greedy when others are fearful, and vice versa. My favorite type of NFTs are baseball cards, because baseball cards, if there's a limit on supply, of which there are with NFTs, with a lot of baseball card NFTs, only 6,000 exist. Those are great long-term investments. Yeah. And as with any asset class, you always look at supply. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, next up, the question is, Manas wrote, little side note for you, if any of my questions on BRICS or China could harm you or your channel, please ignore it, don't answer. I don't want to put you in trouble ever. I get that. No, thank you. I've got nothing to hide. I'm always transparent. Yeah, always transparent with everything. Yeah, and I am careful what I say. Yeah. Now, there's certain words that if people type them in, they get blocked immediately. Last September, there were so many racist remarks on my channel, like during this, and so I blocked a bunch of people and I blocked a bunch of words as well. Now, YouTube also blocks these, and if you put in a hyperlink, YouTube will block that sort of thing as well. So if you ever put in a link, I can't see it. Yeah. Okay. So much ignorance out there, right, with racism. All right, next up, Secret Tuber wrote, hey, Chris, how are you doing? I'm doing good, thank you. When you said, how you doing? I always think of Joey from Friends. Yeah. Okay, moving on to Manas wrote, sometimes we should read between the lines for geopolitical reasons. Yeah, I got you. By the way, I know you're based in India. India just passed China as the largest population on the planet. Yeah, and I had an economist named Mahmoud on this call several weeks ago, and he said that within 25 years, India will become the largest economy on the planet. I'm a big fan of India, world's biggest democracy. I love it. It should be America's best friend forever. Yeah. Okay. I won't get political. All right. Kevin, who's in one of my MBA programs, good to see you. Good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Great to see you as well. Mr. Nichols has another hedge fund question. Nicholas, sorry. Can I set up a hedge fund or a private equity company without going to work for a hedge fund or private equity firm? I would need to learn and get experience, but getting employment in the hedge fund or PE industry is hard. Yeah, it's easier if you work in that industry. For example, if you want to start a search engine, it's easier to raise capital if you worked at Google, for example. If you want to start a consulting firm, it's easier to start one if you worked at Accenture. Actually, it's Accenture. It's a good company. That's where I worked, for example. So I would say if you want to work in the hedge fund industry or private equity industry, having work experience in that industry is definitely a bonus. It'll increase the probability of you being able to raise capital and start your own hedge fund as well. Now, these firms, these hedge funds and private equity firms and a lot of finance firms, they don't advertise for jobs. So what you have to do is you have to network aggressively to meet with people that work at these hedge funds or PE, meaning private equity firms. Now, whenever you see a job opening for any company out there online, the probability you have of getting that job is literally 1 out of 250. The person that gets the job almost always knows somebody at the company. So these are the rules. So what we have to do is aggressively network. In my MBA program, in the first couple of classes, I teach you how to network on steroids. And if you using LinkedIn, and if you join my Platinum program that starts this Monday, what I'll do is I will personally write your entire LinkedIn profile for you. Not my staff, I will do it for you. Okay. But I promise you, if you set up enough informational meetings, you will get the job of your dream. It's like dating. I promise you it works. If you set up informational meetings using LinkedIn, I teach you how to do this in my MBA program, with 30 people at Google, you will get a job at Google. And Google is one of the many wonderful companies out there that do not require a university degree anymore to get a job there. Your network is your net worth, and relationships are more important than product knowledge. Last thing I'll say about this is if you want to get my book on networking for free, which is 300 pages plus a couple hours of YouTube videos, you can always go to my website, which is harounmba.com, and then just scroll down to the bottom, and you can download this book right here for free. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Brian's here too. Awesome. So Brian, put your hand up if you have a question. And Brian actually met with Joe Biden. He and his family went to the White House. And I think it was last week or the weeks before his webcast. You showed me all the pictures. Brian's a great guy. He lives in DC. He's a money manager as well. And he has Spider-Man #1 in 9.4 condition, graded by CGC, on his wall behind him. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see. Next question here. All right. Manas wrote, 5 years from now, more people would learn about cryptos or less. And what's your long-term perspective? Yeah. So before I invest in a company or a sector, I always ask myself this one basic question. In 5 years, will this company or this sector be more relevant or less relevant than it is today? And that stops me from getting seduced by cheap valuation. Stocks are often cheap for a reason. And once a technology company goes into secular decline, like Yahoo, Research in Motion, etc., it's game over. And a lot of people start to buy those stocks because, hey, they look cheap. They're cheap for a reason. Always ask yourself the 5-year question. In terms of my thoughts on cryptos in 5 years, much more relevant than today. Much more relevant. Part of it will be self-fulfilling because there's a lot of chatter out there that Russia partnering with, here I go getting political, partnering with South Africa and China, etc., and the Middle East might use the yuan, the Chinese currency, as the reserve currency when transacting in natural resources. And that's one of the reasons why I think that gold is a great investment. I own gold. I think it should be in everybody's portfolio. And this is fake, by the way, like I'm a fake teacher with fake gold. But what's been happening is a lot of people have been speculating that, given the fact that there's kind of a threat to the dominance in the long term, at least for the US dollar as a reserve currency, a lot of people have been buying gold and cryptos as well. Yes. So, and the Chinese government has been buying a lot of gold, and I think they're going to be buying a ton more gold in the future as a way to hedge themselves to be a little bit less reliant on the US dollar. Yeah. I love using props when I teach. Let me shut the door because my neighbor is cutting his grass, which he always does the second this webcast starts. He's been doing every single week, forever. All right. Done. All right, let me get to your next question. Okay. And then Haroun wrote edutainment. Yeah, thank you. Laugh at me always, not with me, please. Yeah. Okay, and then Mr. Nicholas, who had questions about hedge funds and PE, wrote, your courses are awesome. I hope you make millions in your venture. Thank you. And I've got a very, very big announcement for people in my MBA program that's coming next year. I can't disclose it. It's called Project X. And Christina Hong, who is working with me, is the only other person that knows about it. And I can't wait to tell you all about it next year. Yeah, it's big. Okay. All right. Next up, Carlos. Carlos wrote, I'm currently happy and enjoying your Silver MBA program. Thank you. Could you mention how I can discount the silver amount paid to enroll in the gold program? Gracias. Yeah. So if you want, I have an upgrade program. So if you've taken silver and you want to buy the gold or platinum program starts on Monday, May 1st, you can get $250 off. Okay. And what you can do is just email support@harounventures.com and I'll send you a coupon. And I don't have any upgrades available from gold to platinum. So for people that, like, what happens sometimes is people join the gold program and then they want to upgrade to platinum a couple days into the program. The answer is no, unfortunately. Sorry. There's just we have a cap, a limit. Yeah. There's only so much for me to go around. Yeah. All right. Love you guys. Okay. Moving on to Renardo, who wrote, is it good for the United States if the rest of the world leaves the US dollar? No, it's terrible. The value of the US dollar would be lower and it will increase exports from the US to other countries. I see what you're saying. As the goods will be considered cheaper. Yeah. Yeah. A weaker US dollar does help companies that don't hedge their FX exposure. For example, Caterpillar, ticker CAT. If we assume that more than 50% of their revenues are overseas, then if they make a lot of money in non-US dollars, when they repatriate and bring that money back, it's more money for them. But the reality is a lot of these firms have hedging programs in place just to mitigate the volatility of foreign exchange. Yeah. But it would be awful if the world leaves the US dollar as a reserve currency. Yeah. And you'll know what's happening, and it's not, at least not now. You'll know what's happening if investment bankers and corporate finance executives and universities, when they teach you how to value companies using DCF and the cost of capital, if they stop using the risk-free rate of US treasuries, the 3-month treasuries, right? If they use another currency, you'll know what's happening. And in the past, people used to use LIBOR for the risk-free rate. And LIBOR stands for London Interbank Offer Rates. Obviously, not many people use that right now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see here if people want to do Zoom. I'll show you behind the scenes what's going on here. So I use a product called Wirecast, which is like OBS. Okay, which stands for Open Broadcasting Software. Okay, so we got Brian here. Okay, so let me actually go to Brian and other people. I'll get rid of myself in the corner. Okay, hold on one second, and I'll turn this on here. Okay. And then Brian, if you want, you can unmute.
All right.
How are you, Brian?
Good. I got to turn off the YouTube one.
Yeah, sure.
I have too many computers.
Good to see you. How are you? Good to see. And Wade, nice to see you. Nice to meet you as well. And we have Frenchie on mute as well. And if anybody wants to join Zoom, just go to harounmba.com/, all lowercase, Zoom. Z, as we say in Canada, it's not Z. ZOOM. harounmba.com, lowercase, Zoom. Yeah. Brian, how are you? Good to see you, man.
Good. So I joined your program this week.
Oh, thank you. I saw that. That's right. Thank you. This is perfect.
And I wrote up my questions and stuff that I have for you.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
I think we do that at this time, right? That's what this.
Yeah, you can ask now. And then what we also do is right after this call, you can always join this call to ask questions. But right after this call, between 10 and 11 a.m. Pacific time, there's a 1-hour Zoom just for silver MBA students. Yeah, but go ahead, ask now. And you can always get the link.
After this.
Yeah, but no. But you can always join around 9:30 or so. I'm happy to take your questions this way as well. And the link is always in the first, the link for the weekly silver call from 10 to 11 Pacific time is always in the first lecture of the silver MBA. Yeah.
Okay, let me write that down.
Yeah. And since you just joined the silver MBA, and thank you, I'm looking forward to humbly working with you. Let me show you how to jump to any point in the curriculum by doing a quick search. So I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. So what you do is you go to harounmba.com. Okay. And then the top right-hand corner, and you'll see this in your curriculum as well, there's something called MBA Curriculum Search. So you click here, and then you type up whatever topic you want to learn about. So for example, venture capital boot camp. And you'll know exactly where it's covered in the curriculum. And I've set this up. This is me buying time. There you go. So you click here on silver, because this is your degree here, okay? And then down here, just click on the topic. And for example, if you're doing options stuff, what you can do, let's say that you want to learn about Vega.
which measures volatility. When it comes to options, you search on it, and then depending on what MBA program you guys are in, just click it, and you click here, and it'll take you directly to the curriculum part for you. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me stop sharing now. Yeah, but go on, please. If you have questions, I'd love to humbly answer them. Yeah.
Okay, well, this just created a new question going off of that.
Yeah, of course.
All right, let's say we look up Vega on there. And since I have the silver, I don't have the time to do the gold and platinum because I can't do your classes.
Yeah. No. I don't recommend anybody do gold or platinum if you can't join the classes on Mondays or Tuesdays. Silver makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I wanted, it looked like when you do gold or platinum, there's more stuff obviously included in that.
Yeah.
That subject I wanted that more additional information.
No, it's the same content.
Oh, it is the same content?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only difference is I teach the classes live. What I do is I play a lecture, then I stop to take questions, play a lecture, stop to take questions, then I do Zoom. And that's every Monday and Tuesday. So it's a more immersive experience. And so it's every Monday and Tuesday for a year, starting on May 1st from 9 until noon. Now, that's 9 until noon Pacific time, which means, I guess, noon until 3 your time. So it might be hard for you, East Coast time. You're working. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. Yeah. And also in the platinum program, I do one-on-ones as well. Yeah. Yeah. But,
okay.
Yeah.
If I wanted to do a one-on-one, is there a way to do that? Can I pay for it?
Yeah, I do have consulting services as well on my website. So you can just go to learn.harounventures.com. You'll see consulting services there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. But you can always ask me just general questions in front of other people.
No, that's fine. But as I dig deeper into this, there's probably going to be some things I would rather just do one-on-one.
Okay.
And I don't mind paying for it if that's what the case is.
Okay, thank you.
Because I get the value out of it.
No, thank you. And by the way, a lot of the profits for what I do go towards building schools. Yeah. In Africa, we finished our first one in Rwanda. I'm going to be in Rwanda this July, and I'll do the webcast from there as well. And then the next MBA program after the one starting on Monday, we're raising prices significantly, and part of it is because I want to build more schools. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So going through the questions that I had, now I know I've only done the first topics, the first sub 1 and 2, so there's not a lot. You mentioned not to post things about political views, obviously, and I understand that. But as you mentioned earlier, so me putting the pictures up of the president, does that count as political view? Because I did put those up and I never have before.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, it's an honor to go to the White House, period. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, but I wouldn't, I personally don't recommend that people follow politicians or anybody that's very political, directly on LinkedIn. If you follow Fox News, you might upset Democrats. If you follow CNN, you might upset Republicans.
Correct.
I'm trying to stay in the middle here. It's very hard, but I'm doing that. Yeah.
Well, being in DC, it's almost impossible because everybody's on both sides.
Yeah, everybody's, yeah.
But I understand because I've refused for years to, and most people who became clients could never tell what side I was on, and so I figured that's what you want.
Yeah.
But as my circle's gotten bigger, I've met a lot of congressmen. I've become friends with people on the Senate and stuff.
Yeah.
Should I not follow them because of this, or is this because I'm trying to figure out because I do want to do business with them. Yeah. And I think it would help. But I also don't want to ostracize because I do have people who are on both sides of the fences.
It's hard, man. It's a tough call. It really is a tough call. Yeah. I would err on the side of caution, but it's totally your call. Yeah.
Okay. We're just living a ridiculous situation right now.
Yeah. Maybe it's different if you're in DC. I don't know, but yeah.
No, I don't think it matters where you are. Yeah. So I just wanted your opinion on that because I've stayed away from it.
Yeah. I'll talk about myself. I don't recommend that people follow politicians on Twitter or anywhere. Just because it could, it's kind of like religion. It can be contentious for some people. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. People will either love you or not. Yeah. Yeah. But I've had, congressmen to my house for dinner before, that were Democrats. Just, I'm here on the West Coast, a lot of Democrats. And I wanted to, get my agenda across when it came to education.
Okay. And then paying for LinkedIn.
I'm not saying I'm a Democrat or a Republican, folks. Yeah.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm more of a libertarian, but yeah.
So then I hate to shoot off these
No,
questions one
please.
after another.
No, any questions you have, I'm sure other people have as well. They're always great, and it's always good to hear from you.
So you discussed, which I didn't know you could do this, the advanced search on LinkedIn, because I didn't.
It's amazing.
Never really used
It's incredible.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So do you have to pay for the advanced search? Because I saw kind of like the slim version, but compared to your video, it looked like your video.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
options.
I recommend paying for it so that you can send in mails. So the way it works, and the prices are different all over the world, but the way it works is if you pay, you get a certain number of in-mails. And if you in-mail somebody and they respond, you don't get, that doesn't count as one of the in-mails you've used per month. Yeah.
So you're pretty much paying for 50 no's. Is that per month?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but dude, it's a great investment. And what you can do also, and I don't have any sponsors. I'll never be sponsored at all. I've always turned down sponsors. It hurt my growth, but it is what it is. When it comes to LinkedIn, I recommend paying for it because also you can hide, the fact that you're looking at someone's profile.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah, and you have to go into the privacy settings to check that box. Yeah.
So that was going to be one of my other questions.
Yeah, but
you talk about researching people.
Yes.
But if people see that you're researching them before you talk to them, like to create conversations and stuff, then they're like, okay, I saw that you were looking at me. Then, so you're saying paying for it would actually avoid that scenario.
Yeah.
So I could snoop and learn what I need to without them knowing.
Yes. Totally. Yeah, and also like every email, like most people don't open emails. Most of them I never even open. But you probably open every email you've ever received. You know what I mean? Like everybody opens these things. And so it's a golden networking opportunity for you. Yeah.
Okay. And then writing a book.
Yeah.
All right. I really had no intentions of ever writing a book. That was just not my thing.
Yeah.
But as I thought about it, what, in your opinion, this is what I've come up with. I downloaded your book template, but then I realized I have connections with so many comic book artists and writers and stuff like that. What if I did a children's book on investing? And the idea I had in the car was Ollie the owl, Felix the fox.
Yeah.
The fox kind of eats everything now, but the owl says, look, if you would have just saved part of this, you'd have planted the seeds, and here's a garden in the future. It's kind of like my idea of going with it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's cheesy, stupid, or is
I think it's great. Now, you've got two alternatives, and let me get a bunch of books on my shelf here. And speaking of, okay, I got to go there. So I met Jimmy Carter. He came to Columbia when I was in business school there. I met him, and he signed this as well.
That's cool.
Not saying I'm a Democrat or Republican, but yeah. But I love Jimmy Carter. And by the way, when people were lining up to meet him, there was this one guy from Pakistan right in front of me. And he started talking to Jimmy Carter about Jimmy Carter helping him with his town in Pakistan. It wasn't Lahore or Karachi, it was another town, about helping to find peace there. And the Secret Service agents came up to him and said, hey, you can't do that. And Jimmy Carter was so awesome. He said no to the Secret Service. He Heismaned them, and he let the person from Pakistan in front of me talk to him forever about a peace negotiation. It was so cool. But anyway, so
I think he's amazing because he gives back to the community.
Oh, he's great. I'm gonna miss that guy when he passes away, man. Yeah, we're lucky he's still with us. All right, so my books, what I've done is I use that template. Anybody can use my template for free. I don't ask for your email. Just go to harounmba.com/ all lowercase write-book. It's 6 inches by 9 inches. This is the first one I published. I self-published. And speaking of Democrats, I have to go there again. After I self-published it, Obama's publisher called me, and they wanted to license this and take ownership of it and publish it through their firm. I had a lot of calls with them. I decided not to because they would jack up the price, and I would get like $1.50 per book. Plus, I wanted to own the content. So this is what humbly put me on the map as well. I worked in VC, and Forbes mentioned it's one of 6 books all entrepreneurs need to do right now. And I just got up my own Forbes column as well. But I self-published this. Now, the reason I have these books here, in addition to me showing off, I'm just kidding, is because I signed a contract with McGraw-Hill. And you could probably do the same thing with a children's book as well. So McGraw-Hill, they have these books they have at airports and stuff and bookstores called the Essential Series. And I signed a contract to create one called Finance Essentials. And so I finished writing the book. They're editing it right now, and it'll come out in December. If you want to reach more people, that's what I recommend that you do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And it sounds like you already have contacts anyway in the publishing industry through the comic book industry. And I know you met with the late, great Stan Lee and many others over the years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an idea.
Yeah.
While driving to work this morning.
Yeah. Go for it. Let's do it, man. Okay. Can I don't want to, I love you, but I have to put you on the spot because I care. When is it going to be published?
I don't know. I just thought of the idea this morning.
Yeah.
I wrote down in the date.
Yeah.
You have that thing, so I put by 2025, 2 years.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
I don't know how long it takes for these things to...
Yeah.
I've never done it.
Yeah. If you do it through, and I'll help you a lot. I'll help you with all the stuff the editors look at because it's a grind, right? If you're going to use an editor, right? They question everything. For my Forbes column, before any of my articles get published, it takes a month for the editors to go back and forth. Yeah. So I'll teach you all the tips that I've learned. Yeah. And I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited for you too. Yeah.
Have you had a lot of people write books?
Yeah. Sorry to put you on the spot there. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah.
No, it's fine. That's why
I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah. I've had tons of students do it. Yeah. Tons. The latest one is Edward Amonte, who is from the East Coast Canada. He lives, I think, in Nova Scotia. He just wrote The Pillars on Your Way. He did hardcover, which is more expensive. It's great for him. It's helped him out tremendously. I've had tons of students do it. The first one was a guy named Phil Germany, great guy. He works at Rockwell in Cleveland. He published 3 books already. Yeah, one of them he did 3 or 4 years ago. Was called Super Students, which is prophetic. It's not about students; it's about chess. Yeah, but I've had lots of students do it. Yeah. Now, what I recommend that you do, and everybody on this call, if you want, here's what I did. Write one article every week and put it on LinkedIn on whatever you're passionate about. Okay. And then after 2 years, you'll have 104 articles of 600 to 800 words. And that will be 150 pages that you can put together in a book. And you need at least 150 pages so you can have a spine. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's not too thin. Yeah.
Right.
And don't try to structure books like there's a beginning and the ending. Have them as independent chapters so that whatever articles you publish to LinkedIn, whatever ones get the most views and likes, you put that first in your book. Because the reality is most people never finish these books. Kind of like with online courses, the reality is only 13% of people finish online courses. Yeah. And so that's kind of like educational Darwinism as well, in terms of what to put first. The market will decide for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So I'm excited. I'll get started on that and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
And then using Google Alerts. I've never used Google Alerts. I didn't even know what that was until you talked about it in the class.
Yeah.
So is that strictly, I mean, how does that work? What exactly is Google?
I'll show you. I'm fully transparent, as you all know. All right, so if I go here to my Gmail, so you go to alerts.google.com. I don't know if I'm signed in here. Yeah. And so I did an interview at CNBC years ago, and so I wanted to be told about it immediately when it came out. I have all of these as well, in case somebody pirates my courses. So I get emails the second any of my stuff is mentioned. And what that looks like is if I go to my Gmail here, let's do a search for, let's see, Google Alerts. Let's see, I've got to get a recent one here. So right here, yeah, so this course of mine, I guess, is selling on Black Enterprise Shop. I'm in thousands of newspapers around the world through Stack Commerce and other companies. Yeah, but that's what it'll look like, Google Alerts. Yeah, here's another one for Haroun Education Ventures. I was in the Financial Post for, I guess, oh, wow, that's a new one. Oh, very cool. Okay, great. That's a Canadian Wall Street Journal. Anyway, that's how it works. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So the point is, you just put in a Q3. I guess what I'm trying to see is, how did you get those phrases to come up?
Yeah.
If I'm going to use Google Alerts, what
Yes.
do I write in to use Google Alerts to make it work?
Yeah. So what you want to do is, when you create an alert, you want to put it in quotes all together. So when I used to work in the hedge fund industry, like for some reason, and you'll find this interesting because you work in finance too. So for some reason, newspapers and the media, they get a hall pass when it comes to insider information. They can publish stuff about companies going to get acquired. And of course, they're not transacting on it, and they never reveal their sources. And so they usually say, according to people familiar with the matter. So I used to have alerts set up in Google that for my favorite companies that had plus with the company names, for example, Microsoft, and then plus in quotes, according to people familiar with the matter. And so if Microsoft was going to make a big deal, which they do every year, and they'll continue to do so because organic growth is slowing, I'll find out about it the second that, the New York Times, Deal Book or Wall Street Journal, anybody talks about it. Yeah. And it's fair game.
I could do this for my job too. I could just do like Walt Disney, put Disney, Tiger, whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
So the idea is to put a bunch of things in there so it sums it up to what you want, or?
Yeah. And you can tell it, hey, email me once a day, once a week, or the second it happens. And I do the second it happens. Yeah.
Okay. But in the class, it was more to track the people so you know about them.
Yeah. What So in the MBA curriculum, I mentioned it because let's say you're going to a job interview. What I recommend is you set up alerts for that company. So for example, when I interviewed with Goldman Sachs, back in July of 1998, before Google was around. But they asked me that morning in the interview about a certain news item that hit about the 3 senior executives, Hank, John, and John, at the time. Yeah. And so what you should do is have that set up in case you're meeting with a client or other people out there being interviewed for the company you're interviewing with, so that you find out immediately on your cell phone what the news is that day.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And then I downloaded the book you recommend, Good and forgot what it was, but either way, I downloaded that and bought that clipboard.
God bless you. The clipboard. It's this one here, and I have my chicken scratch on it as well. But it works, man. It works. Yeah. It's helpful. Yeah.
All right, and that's where I'm at right now.
Cool.
So I think that's
excellent. Excellent. We'll stay on the Zoom call too, because we've got the silver call. You can always join if you want 9:30 every week here, and then just stay on for an hour and a half. Yeah, your call.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah. What do they do? What's the difference between that call and this call then?
Yeah, that call it's smaller. There aren't that many people on it usually. Maybe like 10 people in the Zoom meeting. You can just ask away. Yeah. Now, you'll find that when I answer questions on my weekly call, the 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. one, what I do is I usually answer questions in a generic way to apply to everybody watching the webcast. But on the silver call, it's more laser targeted, right? You can ask me about a certain stock, look at financial statements, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Okay. Now, is that one posted online too?
Yeah, that one is. So it's unlisted webcast. So, and you'll have access to it forever. Yeah. And if you go to So if you go to the first lecture of the Silver MBA curriculum, you'll be able to watch every single call over the past 1 or 2 years that was done between 10 and 11. Yeah. It's an unlisted webcast. Yeah. Now, when we do the one-on-ones, like the platinum stuff one-on-one, that is confidential and not publicly available.
Now, if I slip and say something I shouldn't, give a client's name or something like that, is there a way to say, Chris, can you please take that off?
Yes, and I've done that before too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I've had people on the gold. So the gold and platinum call, it's 2 weeks every Thursday from 11:20 until 1:20, and then I've got one-on-ones after that. But I've had people do that, like they've said and it's unlisted, but they say, Chris, I'm interviewing this company. And they're like, oh God, I shouldn't have said it. And so we edit that out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did that actually on this general public webcast about 2 months ago. There's somebody on the call from Vancouver that let something slip and asked me to remove it. And I did it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
because I hated myself for giving up one of my clients' names on your pod. I didn't know you were recording it live.
Oh,
The first time I spoke to
well,
you.
here, what you can do is this. Say no more. Send me an email. You have my email. And let me know how many seconds in and on what webcast, and I'll delete that immediately. Okay? Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. What was that guy's name? I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. You got Bill.
No, I learned my lesson.
Yeah. It was Bill Gates as a client. That's great, man. Excellent. Yeah. He's got a lot
But
of
I
money.
realized as I go deeper in your classes, I want to apply this to my business.
Right.
But if I'm going to be talking about my business, I don't want it online for everybody to see.
Yeah. And you can be cryptic as well. You know, like you could say, I have a client, or I'm dealing with this firm I don't like very much that rhymes with Goldman Sachs. I'm just kidding. That was awful. But you know what I mean. I do like Goldman Sachs. But I do understand after I worked there why so many successful politicians come out of that place. Okay. I'll stop now with the awful political comments. Yeah, cool. Wade, how are you? Nice to see you. Tell us, unmute yourself if you want. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And if you have questions, please let me know. Thanks.
Yeah, actually, Frenchie had a hand up first, I think.
Oh, Frenchie's here. Okay, hold on 1 second. Oh, here we go. Okay, I didn't see that. Thanks for telling me. Okay, Frenchie, please unmute. Same thing. Tell us about yourself, where you're based, and then any questions you have, and welcome.
No, wait. I didn't have my hand up. You can go ahead.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'll let him go first.
But let me ask you, where are you based?
Me, myself?
Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, out of New Jersey.
Oh, Jersey. Okay, excellent. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you. I like your.
My pleasure.
I like your back.
I was on before.
I like your
But wait, go ahead.
backdrop.
No problem.
Backdrop looks cool, man. All right, cool. And Wade, where are you based? And please let me know your question. Thanks.
I'm in Ireland.
Cool. Excellent.
Firstly, Brian, thanks for the motivation. I needed that as well about writing the book. Chris, just one quick question,
Sure.
please. I'm on the Platinum course.
Yes.
And as you correctly pointed out there, it's not really beneficial unless you can join the live classes,
Yes.
of which I haven't joined yet because of it's difficult with the time zones.
Yeah.
It's like midnight to 3 a.m. or something.
Yes.
Is it possible? I'm a bit behind. I'm watching the recordings,
Sure.
but I'm a few behind.
Yeah.
Is it possible now for the next one next week, for example, on Monday, to join into the live class, given that I'm actually still a couple of classes behind, or is it better to catch up first and join in?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. You can join, and you're grandfathered in. You can join any future gold program ever. But since you haven't done the one-on-ones, yeah, of course, you can join for free, and yeah, we'll still do the 9 one-on-ones. I'll honor that, of course.
Super. If I can get some more of this stuff, I can stay up all night.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
it. Thanks
Awesome. Yeah. And so in terms of the timing, so this one's tricky for Monday for a lot of people, the May 1st one, because it's 9 a.m. until noon, but I find a lot more interest in this one from Europe, because a lot of Europeans are 9 hours ahead. So it's like 6 until 9 p.m. your time, so to speak.
Sorry, no, I started in January, so it's an awkward time one.
Yeah. So the January one is 4 until 7 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, West Coast time. So this one is more beneficial for you. But yeah, switch over for sure. Yeah.
Okay, super. Thanks.
Of course. Okay, cool. All right. So if anybody on Zoomy has a question, raise your hand. Otherwise, I'll go back and take more questions here from the webcast. Brian, please. Yeah, please. Yeah.
So the graduation, if you graduate, is in person. Is that strictly for gold and platinum, or am I, if I graduate, allowed to attend?
It's just gold and platinum. Yeah. It's just a policy I have. But I know you're coming out here. I'd love to meet with you. Yeah, and if we do consulting things, of course you come as well. But yeah.
So, Chris, are you allowed to bring a guest to the graduation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian, would you like to be my guest?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, there we go. Yes,
I love it.
I would actually like to, if I graduate in time,
Excellent. And I'll bring Frenchie as my guest, so we'll all be there
that's
together.
Perfect.
Yeah. By the way, it's not just a graduation thing. So it's going to be Saturday, Sunday, August 12th and 13th. It's here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And it's for anybody that has ever taken the Gold and Platinum program, whether or not you graduate, doesn't matter. So it's kind of like a networking event as well. And the way it works is there's a day-long event on Saturday. where it's a graduation ceremony. I give a big speech and all that fun stuff with awful dad humor. And then we have a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then on Sunday, I do one-on-ones, 30-minute one-on-ones with my platinum students from like 10 a.m. until 10 p.m., something like that. Yeah. So it's fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So
Do you do the with the guests too?
What's that? What's that? Say it again. Oh, guests? Oh, one-on-ones. Oh, of course. Yeah.
In California, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So if you don't make the schedule for May 1st, what's the next course or curriculum?
Yeah. So that the next gold and platinum one's going to be next year.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason I decided to do that is I've been going all in on tech. So I add Excel stuff and programming to the curriculum. There's a 6th new pillar, which is technology. And so what I'm doing over the next 10 months is I'm working 24/7 to add a ton more stuff about artificial intelligence, Python, Tableau, Power BI, all the chat stuff like ChatGPT, Bing Chat, Google's Bard, etc., machine learning, and much, much more. Yeah.
So that's going to be in the next curriculum, not this one.
No, but you'll get, if you buy this one, you get access to any future one for free as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm definitely in for all that.
Yeah.
Being a former IT project manager.
Awesome.
So.
Very cool. Very cool.
That works for me.
Excellent. Cool. All right. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to mute myself and everybody here. Stay on if you're silver, and I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. And I'll wrap up this webcast. So hold on a second. I'm going to go dark for you guys, but not for everybody in the webcast. Hold on a second. All right. All right. Excellent. Well, thank you for being a part, all of you, in my 227th weekly webcast. If you're interested in joining the MBA Program Gold or Platinum, just go to my website, HarounMBA.com. We start on Monday, May the 1st. And for those of you in silver, I will see you in a couple of minutes. Thank you, everybody, and God bless.